Breakfast Daily. Now, this conversation that we are going to be having, is something that I am personally connected to it, and I'm very passionate about it. Forgive me if I get emotional about this because it's really on my heart. I am a graduate of School of Performing Arts, University of Ghana, and so everything and anything connected to that, no, I feel it's my responsibility.
By the way, I went to do Afro Stars there.
And did you go to Legon?
Then I wouldn't.
So why do
10
I
years
always think
before you. Don't worry, we'll give the details here. We'll give the details.
But I look like somebody who went to tech.
So,
you don't look like a leg on night.
I finished at tech. So
the tech is in you, but so we are having a conversation about the School of Performing Arts. Now, if you have been following our news reports, and Breakfast Daily, we have been talking about the state, of the School of Performing Arts in terms of infrastructure. Now, this is not something that we are proud of. I mean, I must say that, we are very proud of what we have achieved as the School of Performing Arts. I mean, if you think of all the performance, people who are doing so well, productions, in terms of research, in terms of teaching, everything is coming to us. And we see it as our responsibility and our duty to protect the heritage of Ghana. But the structure that we need to be doing these things in is unsightly. I mean, it is that bad, to put it in plain language. We have a report, put together by my colleague Kwame Dazi. Let's take a look at this. When we are done, we will delve into this conversation.
The School of Performing Arts today launched a campaign to raise $100,000 for the improvement of its infrastructural facilities. Dubbed the SPA Capital Campaign, the project was initiated by the alumni of the school. Speaking at the program, the Dean of the School of Performing Arts, Dr. Awo Manaisiedu, called on individuals and corporate Ghana to come to their aid.
We do need help. So what can you do? You in the audience, students, faculty, alumni, well-wishers, college, donate to this worthy cause. No donation is too small, and certainly none will be too large. Get involved, alumni, get involved to help us fashion other ways of raising money. We are aware that we can raise more money through our productions. Some people are talking about a benefit event that would invite well-placed people in community to come together, we perform, and they help us, link us to sources of funding. There are so many ideas. We welcome more ideas. Please come and talk to me if you have any ideas of how we can raise money.
The current state of the school has raised serious concerns after reports brought to light the broken mirrors, tattered roofing sheets, malfunctioning air conditioners, and the general unsightly look of the premises. The head of the Theatre Art Department, Dr. Sarah Dogbaji, in an earlier interview with City News' Frema Edunyame, also mentioned an abandoned theatre project which started about 18 years ago.
Doc, when you move around, you can see that metals are rusting, termites have eaten the wood away, and you still have materials here, tiles, other stuff. The ACs have been fixed, lights have been fixed. So why are we not using this?
The state in which it is right now, we cannot use it. Yes, the lights have been fixed. We need to conceal all the gadgets at the top there to make it safe,
yes,
to bring students in here, and because the work is not finished, the debris has not been cleared.
Adding his voice to the campaign, the head of the dance department, Kwashi Kuvo, said it was high time their plight was considered.
This dance hall was built when the program started in 1962.
Yeah.
So you can imagine the number of years it's been in existence. And I can say that, yes, the time has come for us to do something about it. It is in a bad shape. We cannot use it to train students. Mostly even students from international community cannot come here and pay thousands of dollars to our university, and then we train them in these dilapidated facilities. So yes, it's time for us to collectively do something and to renovate these places. Yeah.
Now, when you stand in the hall to teach students as an individual, how do you feel?
Well, I don't feel well, but you see, the passion that we have as artists is what pushes us. So that passion is what is pushing us now that we have to do something about the situation.
The School of Performing Arts, which used to be known as the School of Music and Drama, was established in 1962. It has produced a lot of renowned personalities in the media and entertainment space.
All right, so that's a report there by our colleague Kwame Dazi. And we've been joined in the studio by eminent guests. Yeah, you want to tell us who your dean is?
Of course,
Okay.
you know, I'm just trying to comport myself, you know, be in my birthday mood because I have my dean here, you know, so once a student, always a student, you know, so wherever you meet your dean,
know, right?
you've met your dean, you have to be your best. You know.
Arrange yourself well.
Absolutely. Now, so we have with us, you know, the acting dean of the School of Performing Arts, I mean herself, she is here, so that should tell you how passionate she is about this situation. Professor Awo Mana Esiedu, Prof, you're welcome.
Thank you so much, Rima. Thank
Right.
you.
And one man who needs no introduction, you know, he is a family member, you know, and wherever you see City, you see Kwampa. It's like our cultural troop wing. You know, so Kwampa is always there. Asa is here with us. Asa, welcome.
Thank you.
Great, great. Today you are not in your cloth.
Yes.
No, when you're working with Prof, we're steady.
Yes.
You know, we seem to be laughing about this, but this is a very serious situation, you know, to have the School of Performing Arts, you know, at no other place than the Premier University. That's how we taught ourselves. This is not befitting of a Premier University. Prof, I mean, how did we get here?
Well, I guess it's a long story, and maybe a long story of perhaps neglect or waiting for authority to do something. You know, because it is not as if this problem started just yesterday. It's been there for a while, and I must say that efforts have been made to get the relevant authorities to do something about it, but it's always a question of money. And I took over office as acting dean last August, and I tried to see what could be done, and came against walls, and I just knew that this is about money. So if we don't get money, we can't fix it. So it's a problem that has taken a long time to get here, and I think that if we don't do something now, we may not have anything good to talk about in the end.
Absolutely. Now, I think that we know the problem. For the problem, we've been talking about it. You know.
Yes.
Where we are currently is how do we fix the problem?
Exactly.
Now, you know, coming back to school to do that feature, people keep asking me, but what is the guarantee that when we even donate, it's not going back to the university itself, you know? So we will still go round and come back to the same place.
Believe me, I have done my groundwork.
Okay.
And nobody's going to touch our money.
Great.
We are going to use it for what we have purpose for it to be used for. Okay, I've spoken with the college, the provost of the college, who was at the launch yesterday. I've spoken with the finance director there. We don't have an account as a school. By the university's regulations, we can't have an account. Else we would have put the money in our account and used it accordingly. But university has regulations, and I guess it's okay so that people don't mismanage funds. But they have opened an account for us, especially at the college. All our money goes there. And this account that we have launched, this fundraising that we have launched, it is linked to that account. So every dime, every peswa goes into that account. And believe me, I'll hold them accountable.
Oh, no, I trust you.
Yes,
I trust you. So,
otherwise, the whole country will hear about us.
I must put a record, you know, that when I was in school, so I was at the School of Performing Arts between 2002 and 2006. And Prof was doctor at that time, and she was my lecturer, and trust me, if she says I will hold them accountable, she will hold them accountable. You know?
Otherwise, I'll come back here to City and blow their top.
we trust you. We trust you. You know? But Asa, when did you finish SPA?
2019.
Yesterday was 2019.
Yes. So I was there from 2015.
Okay.
Yes. After doing other things. And then
right now. You have come out, you know, not many people are able to get careers out of what we study at Performing Arts. Now, you and I have been lucky, you know, have been privileged to get a career out of what we studied there. How was your stay on campus like?
Okay, so before applying to the school and getting admitted, I was an employee. But
the school?
No.
Oh, okay,
no,
like
I mean, I was
outside.
an
Yeah,
employee.
yeah,
Yes.
okay.
But even before I finished school, now I became an employer.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm just saying this. The school has really had an impact on me, especially when it comes to what I do now.
Yeah.
With regard to music and all that. Before that, I was involved in music one way or the other, but not professionally. Even before I finished school, as I said, I became an employer, sort of. And this is what we do, Kwampa Band, with my people. This is what puts food on the table for us, our families. This is what we do full time. So for me, directly, I am working with what I have learned or the knowledge I gathered from the school. So yes, my stay on campus, my stay at the School of Performing Arts, very good to a great extent because of what I'm doing now.
Awesome.
So yes.
Now, coming out and watching from outside, the state of infrastructure on campus, how do you feel?
It should get better. It should get better, especially as regards infrastructure and then probably some material resources. For instance, the dance studio, at the time I was there, you look at the number of people in there at a time, so we had to divide ourselves in the class because the whole class could not fit in there, and so we had to go by groups. It could get better. I'm not too sure how the recording studio in there is now, but at the time I was there, it could also get better. I mean, the whole school, and then there's just a studio, a recording studio. A small one for that matter, yes. Ideally, we should even have multiple studios for different purposes and not just one. So I am hoping it will get better.
So Prof, this is where we are.
Yes.
Yesterday, I was on campus. We launched an online platform to raise funds. Now, I am happy that we've cleared the air that our money is being managed by us, because that was a great concern for many people.
Yes.
So far, how much do we have and how much do we need?
Well, at the last check, we had a little over $402.
Okay.
Because the system was put up by an alumnus in the US.
Okay.
So, and we are aiming at $100,000. But when we get the money, we are shown in CDs. But then we have the opportunity to look at the total picture. So we have just a little above $400. And we are aiming at 100,000. We have a long way to go.
But really, David, I mean, $100,000. You know, come on.
It's not rocket science
At all. You know, because I mean, if you break it down, you realize that it's not so much, because just one graduating class, you know, it's in thousands.
Yeah.
So when you look at alumni coming in, and we it should be. I'm looking at this.
Well, I'm very hopeful when you talk like that.
No, I mean, if you think about it practically and
Yes.
say, somebody will say, okay, let's get 100 people to give 1,000. But I say, look, let's reverse that. Let's say, let's get 1,000 people to give 100. Can we not find 1,000 alumni of SPA? We can.
We definitely can.
And please,
give
we are not
$100
just
each.
expecting alumni
Yes.
to
Yeah.
give. I mean, friends of the arts.
Exactly.
You know,
I mean, like
people
me.
who have
I
an
mean, I
interest-
played at
yes.
Tembe at SPA.
Yeah, you did
when I went to do
Afro and
Afro
played
Stats.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
No, and honestly, I think that sometimes, you know, we joke a lot, you know, in this country. We look at, okay, so they are just doing music and dance, and I mean, that is it. But if you break it down properly, to look at our contribution, the School of Performing Arts contribution to building Ghana, you realize that everywhere, you know, we are there. You know,
Huge
there
impact.
can't be anything, because when you talk of culture, when you talk of heritage, these things are portrayed in our music, in our dance, in our theater,
Definitely.
you know, and it is because of how we've neglected the arts, you know, in this angle. To me, that is why we are struggling.
But you know, it's not only in the culture industry that our graduates work,
yeah,
which is a fact. I mean, some people come in and then they go into other things.
exactly.
You know, like we have a lot of our graduate students, our students who have graduated in banking.
Yeah.
Some have even become lawyers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they tell us that the skills that they picked up at the School of Performing Arts enhances their careers, because the student is not trained only in terms of his intellect. The body is also trained, and analytical skills is one of the key things. At least if you remember in my class, one of the things I always encourage students about is to be critical and analytical. You know, you need those skills every day in any sphere that you find yourself in. And so Our education is holistic, as we
It
always
is.
say. It's not that it is the truth, and you can
Yes.
ask yourself. I
Yes.
mean, but we do pray that the cultural industry will expand and take more of our graduates in the cultural industry to help it move up. But what I'm saying is that even if people don't end up in the cultural industry, where they end up, the skills they pick up from our school stand them in better stead. Sincerely.
You're so right. You're so right.
I want to get into a little bit of a tangential conversation.
Okay,
here.
sure.
Ghana as a society, we seem to have lifted to a very high pedestal areas like medicine, law, engineering, and so on.
STEM.
Yes. But now we are not talking STEM. The new term is STEAM.
STEAM, yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
To include the
The
arts. Right. Now, how important is that A in the general future direction of this nation?
I think that is what gives life. Okay? I mean, that's what gives life. Art and the artistic is what makes life meaningful. Okay, you can have all the science and all that you need. It's supposed to help us move our nation forward. The engineers should make sure that our roads and our infrastructure are properly whatever. But without the arts, it's all dull and dead.
Mechanical.
And I always say that the arts is where we have the ability to showcase our culture, our traditions. And I always say this: people come to Ghana to study at the university. They're not interested in studying engineering.
No.
They have it in abundance. What they're interested in is what is Ghanaian. So they're interested in the arts, the performing arts, even the liberal arts. They're interested in the history. They're interested in the art, and dance and music. That is what makes us Ghanaian. That is what we can bring to the table. You see, and so we shouldn't neglect that. Because otherwise we have a very sterile society. Imagine this world, I keep asking, imagine this world without music, without dance, without performance. What kind of a world would that be?
And it's important to also add that where our politics, where our sciences and all these things have not taken us globally, our arts
Are taking us
are
there.
taking us.
Exactly.
You understand? Now we are all proud of Ghana because of music. When we talk of Ghana and Nigeria, if it's not football, it's the arts we are talking about. I hardly hear about politics or science or anything,
No.
So I think that this is very, very important because that is where the world is moving towards. Elsewhere, people are making it so big because of the arts. We have it in abundance. Sometimes it looks like because we are the art, because I always say Ghanaians are artistic. I mean, everywhere you look at
We
it.
are
So
art.
we are not really putting that premium. But it is sad because this is our competitive advantage over other
Exactly.
people.
That's the
So
word.
if we develop it properly, I mean, there can be only one Ghana. We can't have Nigerians being Ghanaians. We can't have Americans being Ghanaian. Ghana is Ghana. And this is what makes us us.
Interestingly, if people were to come to Ghana to come and study, let's say, for example, as they do in other places, they come to come and study, let's say, Ghanaian architecture, it would actually be because of the artistic expression of our architecture.
Exactly.
That's why they will come and study it. And I heard this, I did some work with some architects a few years ago. The #1 Airport Square building, the one that has a crisscross design, that infrastructure is actually designed from northern art.
Wow.
Now, if you go to the north of Ghana, you will notice the paintings on the round houses.
Oh, okay.
Do you know they have this
Those-
painting,
okay.
the crisscross paintings that they have on the walls? That's what an Italian architect came to see. He said he was given the job to design that building, and he says, "Let me come to Ghana and see
what is Ghanaian."
Ghanaian." And then he traveled through the country, and when he got to the north, he saw it, and he said, "This is the design."
And it's
And you have the
unfortunate that
building there.
it's amazing, isn't it? But sometimes we always are looking to the West
Yes.
for inspiration,
Yes.
for things. But there's so much around us. And I'm glad you mentioned that. There's so much around us that we need to be telling our own stories, creating our own images. Based on our own traditions and our own cultures. And that's what the school is about.
Absolutely. Now we talk a lot about unemployment, and if you break it down, look at the contribution of the art sector,
Yeah.
towards job creation.
Yeah.
So Asa finished school.
Yeah.
Now, how many people is he working with? So you realize that from his band,
Yeah.
the performance, now they will also go to the studio to record.
Yeah.
How many people? So you
Will
realize that
be
one person
impacted.
coming out
Yes.
has a chain of
Rea-
people
yeah,
that
exactly.
is also
Yeah,
dealing with.
exactly.
And all these people, look at the number of people
Who depend on
Asa
those
as an
people.
individual,
Yeah.
his wife and children. Your team members also have their
And
wife
their
and
wife-
children, and their
exactly,
mothers and their
exactly.
fathers and nieces.
Yeah.
So you realize that the arts really employs a lot more people. And so sometimes I wonder why our
It's so
leaders,
difficult to see.
cannot
Yeah.
get this link.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unfortunate, but it looks like people just don't care.
But I think sometimes we also don't sell ourselves enough. I think we also have a responsibility to
Okay.
sell what we do and be proud of what we do.
How much
know.
more can you sell
Yes,
than
Prof.
what you've been doing?
Well,
So far.
yes. So it speaks for itself, but we also need to speak about it.
Okay.
I feel, so that's why I'm grateful for this platform. I'm glad for people like you in the media who are speaking about it, because sometimes people may not fully get it. I have always said that the reason why the arts are so marginalized sometimes is because what you say is so ubiquitous. It's so much around us. What you have is around you take for granted. For example, even traditional performers, never really charge gate fees.
Yeah.
You go to a community where they're a drumming troupe, they perform in the market square, they don't charge you to come and watch. You give as you are inspired. And so the idea that the arts should be funded is not in our traditional psyche. But as we develop as a nation, we need to fund the arts to take it to the next level, to the 21st century. It cannot remain like it used to be in our forefathers' time, So that is why it is important to invest in it. And if we invest in the arts in this country, I'm telling you, this talk about Ghana, the gateway to Africa, the year of return.
Yes.
Think about it. When they are planning the year of return, or they want people to come here, what is it that they want people to be attracted to? It's what we have, right?
Yeah.
It's the arts. That's what. So
Well, so Asa, you were in school. 2019 is just around the corner.
Yes.
But you saw that building.
Yes.
That 18-year-old uncompleted structure.
I was shocked when I was told when it was started. that
Yeah,
structure.
because I was even
shocked.
thinking that it would be completed during my time, so at least you can go sit there for productions and stuff. But 16 years after leaving Legon,
still
that structure is still
as
there.
it was.
Now, I want to find out from you, because you are out there, in the field doing musical stuff. If that project is completed, how would it benefit you? Thinking of how we struggle with event space in this country.
In fact, we're talking about, we're supposed to have an event on campus at the School of Performing Arts, and then it was postponed because we're not in the country.
Okay.
For such a space, for instance, such an event, we could open it up, not just even to the SPA, but the whole school. We need
And even
spaces,
outsiders.
and even outsiders, of course. Currently, the drama studio, I think it plays that role, but we should make room for something bigger, of a bigger capacity. So that space, if it's completed, I think it will serve a great purpose, not just for the school, but outsiders also. For people like us who are outside, if we want to have contact with the school, it's a space for us.
Of course, because if we have this structure sitting down and we go and rent physicians and surgeons, college for this,
Exactly.
it's a big indictment on us,
Yeah.
Why should some science people put a structure together and we are going to use that as arts people?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, this is there and we are not doing anything about it. And this is, done to accommodate what we have, because with performing arts, you need the washrooms, you need the changing rooms, you need all these places, and that facility has all these. But anyway,
And the kind of
this
stages,
is
acoustics, all those
exactly
things.
it's fit for purpose.
it was purpose built.
Exactly. So the long and short of the whole thing is this is where we are. We cannot just sit down for the structure to rot away without doing anything about it. We can do it, and it really doesn't take much, So we have to do it, and the journey starts now. So we have launched an online platform, Okay, and Doc, I'm talking about it because I feel I'm part of this. This one, maybe I should have been sitting at the other side.
You are. You feel like you are.
So, Prof, would you take us through that process? Or?
Yes, so well, it's an online platform, and I've sent you the link. Even if you go to the School of Performing Arts website, you see a tab there, Donate Now. Once you click on that, it takes you to the platform.
Yes.
And when you get there, you just follow the prompts.
So the link is the sopacc.org.
Yeah.
It is very straightforward.
Yeah.
It's very easy to do. Yesterday we tried it, and you can actually also follow the conversation as well. You can follow the donations as well, because it tells you how much people are donating, how much are donating.
Yes.
You can
get all that information. As soon as somebody gives, I get an emaal to indicate that this person has given you so much. So we can keep track of all that is coming in.
Right. So it is sopacc.org. Now you can decide to give weekly. You can decide to give
a one-time donation.
Make a one-time donation. You can decide to do annually. Look, I think that we should all commit to this project and see to its conclusion. Because I'll be very proud to say that, maybe to tell my children one day that my money is part of that
definitely.
project.
But let me just clarify. Sure. This $100,000 is towards refurbishing the old facility. Yes. Now the big structure is another story.
Well, so the work is huge, and we have to do it. And when you look at the contribution of the School of Performing Arts, towards nation building, you realize that this is nothing. So because I think that the money that we need to refurbish, we are not going to build a whole university. We have the structures there. Some parts are not really in good shape. That is what we need 100,000 cedis to cater for.
$100,000.
Oh, $100,000. 100,000 cedis. The money is but we need $100,000. I am committed, to every month give something towards that project, because I see it as part of my contribution to making sure that younger ones after me get, because I believe that older people, our seniors, have a certain path for us, and we all need to also do that for younger people. And so, Prof, we are giving you our word.
Thank you.
Thank you. I know how passionate you are about this, and I would love to see you retire as a satisfied person.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Yes, and
a dream come true.
Yes. So all of you out there from Asa Kwampa, you guys are doing well. So bring your money.
Oh, most definitely.
To Prince David Osei, Ajete Anan, Wakefield Akwaku, Nadia Buari, Rosalind Ngiza, Kobe Rana. The list can go on and on. This is where you guys got your careers from. We can't afford to let the school rot away. So we are all doing this kind of homecoming, with our pockets to make sure that the school gets its glory that it really deserves.
Excellent.
Asa, thank you very much.
Welcome.
Prof,
thank you so
very
much. Thank you. I really appreciate this.
Right, so this is Breakfast Daily. Won't you give us some of the money?
I will.
Thank you.
And please do. Yesterday, George Quay said something. So George Quay, George Quay he was a year ahead of me in School of Performing Arts. Ecole Smith. I mean, all of you, bring your money. Ecole Blankson. Every week we'll come and mention your names here. Bring your money, because we need the money. So yesterday, George Quay said something. Have they started implementing e-levy?
Not yet.
No, they haven't.
Not yet.
So send
We're
it
about
now.
a month away.
And dodge e-levy. You get it? So do it now, and let's dodge e-levy, because the e-levy charges no crowd. If you add it to the money we like. So, Prof, thank you very much.
Maybe they can waive the e-levy for our project.
And this is what we say a special good morning to you, Honorable Keno Ferriata. You have heard the conversation. Not about me. This is the state of the economy. The School of Performing Arts is not looking good at all. So we all need to do this. Thank you very much, Prof.
Thank
you very much.
Thank
Asa,
you
this
so
is Breakfast Daily.